Hello, everybody. I know it's been a minute, but going through it. My son was sick and out of school for a week. Then last week, my husband was sick, and now this week, myself and my second son are sick. So, yay, going through it. Um, how's everybody? How are you guys doing? As you can hear in my voice, I am not 100%, but I am on my way to work. After I get some gas, I gotta get some gas. I recently got hired to do photos for a gala, which was pretty cool. It was an Indian American gala for physicians, and the ambiance was beautiful. The energy was very, very nice. Who hired me? Well, yeah, that would be a different story. First of all, he reached out to me on my personal phone, and up until now, I don't know how he got that phone number. Like, it is beyond me how he got my personal cell phone number. And I thought to ask, but I never did. So there's that. I did not respond to him on my personal phone. I called him from the business phone to establish a business relationship. I don't know you. You're not talking to me on my personal phone. Not happening. When he called me originally, he wanted event photography, and I quoted him for 2 hours, which was cool, you know? After which is where I messed up royally. And I say that I messed up as a way to make sure that other people don't make the same mistake. After quoting him my hourly rate for event photography, that does not include a photo booth setup. It just is me covering your event. He started throwing out new variables. He wanted a photo booth style coverage where I would take photos of people as they walked in and provide them with prints, 5x7 prints. That's the only printer I have. Like, okay, I should have given him a separate cost for that. I didn't. That is on me. I should have given him a contract. I didn't. Again, totally on me. I had to hire my son, my oldest son, to be my assistant because it is not something that I could have done by myself. And I'm really glad that I did because he was very, very helpful. He understands how I work and how I operate as far as these different type of photo events because he's worked with me. I think it's like the third or fourth time that he's worked with me. I could not have done it without his help, point blank. I get to the event, we get to the event, and I told my son, like, I don't want to set up anything until I see the layout because I want to know where I'm going to be. Don't know, where they're providing us a table, seating, and all that. I walked with my production cart, and I'm glad I did because no table was provided for my services. No chair was provided for us to sit down and print the images. So we brought the production cart as well as our own stool, and I'm really happy that we did. We were able to set that up and make it look presentable. We had a black tablecloth that we put around it so it matched the other vendor settings that they had. We set I wanted to find out, first of all, I want to make sure I get my money. I don't want to set up anything and I don't get my money. The person that I need to speak with was not at the facility yet. I set up anyways, regardless of not being paid, and I'm like, I'm gonna hope that this all works out for the best. I did get paid. I'm gonna make sure I let you guys know that I did get paid. But what I didn't know is that there was an additional photographer there who was set up in the very same spot that I needed to be set up, that we needed to be set up in. This photographer put his strobe lights dead in the center of the walkway so people had to go around it. Now, the thing about an Indian gala, women are wearing lehengas and saris and all these flowing pieces that if they're not careful, they're going to trip over or get like snags on this light stand that he had. And it happened on several occasions. People kept bumping into it. Clothes got caught on it. So while this photographer came off like he was professional, he did something really stupid. At a light stand in the middle of the walkway, no sandbags on it, so it got kicked and moved all across the place. If it had only fell, was not my issue. I had to work over him, and he had to work over me. We weren't together, clearly. It's like he would immediately take everyone's photos and then give me the right to take photos after. I was hired specifically to take photos of everyone who walked in. I missed a lot of people because of the other photographer. He kept snagging everybody, and then some of them just didn't bother to stay so I could take their photo as well. They already got a photo with him. So they were under the assumption that they were going to get a print from him. No, that's not what happened. Not at all. Not even in the least. He wasn't printing anything. He was simply there to take photos. I'm gonna have to pause this conversation. Ooh, Costco done spruced it up. What? Eventually, the other photographer got to a point where he started telling people to stop and wait for me so that I can get their photos. While I appreciate that, it shouldn't have had to been that way. Like, he was there to cover the event. He should have been covering the event. There was no need for him to be covering the front entrance, especially when I was providing prints. He could have simply took photos of the vendors and everyone inside of the gala. No, it's not what he did. At the end of the night, we printed photos for every person that we photographed. And a bunch of those people had 2 photos. Some of those people did get 2 photos. Some of them only got 1. However, we made sure to print everyone that we saw. Saturday, we were supposed to be there from 6 to 6:30 setting up, from 6:30 to 8:30 providing prints, photos. A lot of the people did not finish coming in until almost 9 o'clock. A lot of the people kept coming back to redo photos. The ones who were already there, they kept coming back. Oh, take a photo with this person. Oh, can you take a photo with my phone? Sure. It wasn't until 9 o'clock that we were able to start printing. And then my printer jammed. It was jammed for maybe all of 10, maybe that's even a bit much. I want to say 10 minutes. Let's call it 10 minutes just for shits and giggles, okay? I got the printer fixed and we immediately started printing out images. We didn't leave until 10 o'clock. When we were packing up about 9:30, this is an hour after we were supposed to leave. We started packing up. I had a man walk over and say he didn't see his prints. I'm like, sir, I know for a fact that I printed it. I don't see it. And he started being a little bit rude and demanding of his prints. Like, it's not right. Everyone else get it. I took so many pictures with you. You didn't give me nothing. I'm like, sir, give me a minute. So I pull out the computer and I go to look. The man only took 2 photos with me. The photo that I printed, so when I say 2 photos, let me give you a little bit of understanding. I took a portrait style and I took a horizontal style, a landscape style, of the same 3 people. The couple that he was there with in the images, they had already picked up the images. I know this because my son handed it to them directly. I wasn't under the impression that I needed to print 2 of those images. However, I did. I took my printer back out. I took my computer back out. I plugged everything back in and I printed the 2 images, the portrait and the landscape, and gave it to the guy. Of course, my good customer service showed and he appreciated it, and then he told me he possibly has a job for me in April. That's a whole nother conversation. There was another woman who came and said, oh, she didn't see her print. I printed it again for her, and then I looked. Her husband had already picked up all the prints that contained her in them, her and him. She had done a picture with a friend, and she had done a picture with her husband. He had both of them. And then I reprinted another one. They walked home with 3 images in their hands. This kind of stuff. Fast forward to Sunday now. I'm getting a text message from the guy who hired me, asking me for, his photos. I never have promised him that I would give him full access to my gallery. I sent him a link to it and said if anyone is still needing prints, they can go on here, they can download their photos, and they can have a print printed from, my website, because Pixie Set offers that. I love Pixie Set for this. They have a whole print store. So if you want a small 4x6, or if you want an 11x14 canvas, they do it all. They have cups. And this is no plug. They're not sponsored by them or anything, but they do offer these things. Okay. He goes on a rant about how this is bad business and that's not what I promised him, and why do I need the photos? And what's the good in me holding on to the photos? And I'm like, I never promised you that I would give you full access to the gallery. And then he starts to go on and on and on. And I'm like, seriously? I don't need this in my life. I don't need the headache. I said, I was kind and respectful in my message to him. I let him know that, it's not what I promised, but here, I don't want to make anyone feel like I'm robbing them. I don't want anyone to feel like I don't know how to do good business. So I gave him a one-time use download pin to get full access to all the images. Before that, he's like, oh, I had 2 other events I wanted to have you, and now, like, I don't trust you. I'm like, look, I'm gonna give you the pin. No, it's too late. You don't know how to do business. Okay. I emailed him the link, the download pin, let him do what he needed to do. Then after that, he was, oh, these are really great. Thank you. Long story short, I robbed myself. I should have never given away so much for so little. But that's on me, and I own it. I know for next time that if someone hires me for events, I will send them a quote. If they approve the quote, I will send them a contract. You don't sign the contract, then there's no deal. I will be very specific of what my offerings are in the contract. Should anyone accuse me of doing bad business, I'm like, well, let's refer back to the contract and see what I did promise and what I didn't promise. Going forward, I know that if someone wants me to provide a so-called photo booth type of session where, I'm providing prints on the spot, I'm going to charge for each of those prints. Even if you ask me for 100, you're going to pay for 100. Even if you only have 75 people who come. No, I'm providing you with the service for up to 100 images. Up to. I robbed myself, and I regret that, and I won't let it happen again. I may have another real estate listing coming up next week. It's still in the works. Possibly have a job out of state coming up. Gotta check my email, see if the client got back to me on that. But things are getting a little bit better. Business is growing, and I'm starting to get clients outside of referrals, which is really what I would like. I appreciate every referral. I truly do. I want to see the results of the efforts that I'm making. I want to see that all my hard work in advertising and making content videos and letting people know the service that I provide, I want to see that is paying off as well. So, or if you're into creating any type of art and have the intention of selling that type of service, my advice is to make sure you price for everything. Don't rob yourself. I can't blame the customer in this. This is my doing. I know better for next time, though. This is me signing out. Have a great day, and talk to you later.